In the summer of 1909, Charles Walcott, who at that time was secretary of the Smithsonian Institution, was doing some field work in British Columbia. And he and his wife were riding along a mountain trail, and the story goes that one of their mules lost a shoe. Now, when Walcott bent down to retrieve it, he came across a piece of shale, a rock. And it was ordinary looking at first, but when the sunlight hit it, it shimmered like silver. And he looked closely, and there was a pattern, a fossil. So when they did some more exploring to find out where this one piece of rock had come from, they came across something that no one had ever seen before. A vast deposit, a quarry of fossils from about 500 million years ago, the Cambrian period. Over the next 7 years, Walcott excavated the area, eventually bringing back over 65,000 specimens. Walcott called his discovery the Burgess Shale. Douglas Irwin is curator of the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History. Like dinosaurs, you find the bones.
You find the bones.
But you
don't find the intestines and the stomach and the eyes and things like that. The Burgess Shale, we find all those bits and pieces. So let me take you into the...
This is the secret room.
Collections, yep. So this is a room that we keep a lot of the more important fossils, trilobites and ammonites, and then the Burgess Shale. That's what I want to show you. We have the part and the counterpart here. So originally, this would have been one piece like this. Somebody hit it on the side with a hammer, and it split along the middle of the fossil.
Wow.
So this is a Shea. A Shea is an onychophoran worm. When they moved from the oceans to land, we have no idea. But you can see the legs down along there.
Sort of
little antenna
or
up
something.
And if you move that back and forth like that, you can see shiny bits just at the end of the legs, and those are the toenails.
Of course they are. The fossils that Walcott discovered were remarkably preserved. A vivid snapshot of a time when ancient life on Earth was dominated by curious underwater creatures.
This is the big predator of the Cambrian. In China, some of these were probably 3 feet long to 6 feet long. It's probably a cousin of the arthropods, insects and crabs and things like that. The mouth actually sort of opened up, and as those rotated closed, those would crunch the carapace.
Like the beak of an octopus.
Yeah. This is Opabinia. This is
Opabinia.
Opabinia. It's one of my favorites, probably because it's just such a weird animal. It's got 5 eyes on stalks. It's got this long trunk-like thing with a claw at one end.
It's just like somebody's just making it up.
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of like a Chinese menu. You know, you take one part from column A and one part from column B, and you wind up with something like this. But there's nothing to compare with this today, the 5 eyes and the claws of Opabinia.
The site of the Burgess Shale was created by a sudden and violent act of nature. An underwater mud flow struck fast. A landslide of sediment crashed down, burying everything in its path. They remained entombed for hundreds of millions of years.
505 million years ago, life was really boring. There was a lot of microbial slime around, but nothing terribly complicated. And then we begin to get the first animals diversifying into this whole wide range of things.
So far, the discovery of the Burgess Shale has revealed an estimated 170 different species of ancient marine life, an astonishing explosion of multi-celled body types. Astonishing because for billions of years, the Earth had been dominated by one-celled creatures. For many scientists, the diversity of the Burgess Shale fossils is evidence of a dramatic shift in the evolution of life on Earth, the evolutionary equivalent of the Big Bang.
The British Shale is this wonderful window into this big bang of animal life where very rapidly we get the production of all these different architectures, all these different ways of making a living in this whole new ecosystem. It's much better than playing with dinosaur
Why do you
models.
think it's better than playing with dinosaurs?
Well, these are much more fascinating. I mean, dinosaurs aren't really that long ago, and they turned into birds, and they're fine.
Stay at the office.
But I mean, Opabinia is a much cooler animal than Tyrannosaurus rex. It's just that 5-year-old kids don't know it yet. Even Spielberg and Lucas wouldn't have come up with Opabinia. That's why they're so cool. We'd never know they existed without the British Shale.
Not all the great discoveries started with uncovering a piece of physical evidence. There wasn't always a place to explore or a fossil to find. Our next great discovery started with an idea.